I look at things like a flower. You seed it. You have to nurture it. You have to water it. And that's the way I cultivate people. We have so many buckets of foundations. We know the gatekeepers to everybody. And we've built that relationship, and we have that access to these people.
David Meltzer, CEO of Sports One Marketing, here with Entrepreneurs, the Playbook. And I have an old dear friend, and when I think of entrepreneur, I think of the Pump brothers. And I got Dana Pump, or so he tells me Dana Pump, because these guys have been hustling me for years. Which one's Dana, which one's David? And they're like, well, he's the mean one. And then they switch places, I think.
Good cop, bad cop.
You guys are great. Legends. Tell me how, I believe that entrepreneurs are born, they're not made. You guys were kids, and you literally had like a $12,000 sports cards collection from running over to the fire station or police station.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like a rainmaker. You always got to find ways to make money and make rain. So we've always just keep creating different revenue streams. Started when we were little kids with our baseball card collection, and that revolved in so many different ways that we were able to, make money throughout the years.
Well, it's not just the money, it's what you do with the money. A lot of guys would joke. I would say that the only people I know that know more people than me that will do things for them are the Pump brothers. Yeah. When I went to the first Pump brother event years ago, it was amazing because Steve Garvey, and that's not a small name, was sitting at like table 110. Yeah. Like in the third row, like third level up, and every guy that was there, and you're the only one I know when there's an award for your foundation, right? Yeah. The Pump, it's Harold and Carole Pump Foundation. Awesome, you raise millions of dollars, but it's amazing because there's so many celebrities that when you announce like Muhammad Ali as one of the winners of an award or an honoree, you have like Sugar Ray Leonard, Oscar De La Hoya, you have 4 other world champions, right there, and to get to him. Yeah, it's incredible.
I think it's our 19th year for a foundation named after my mom and dad, Harold and Carole Pump Foundation. We have 3 wings named after them at Northridge Hospital: Carole Pump Women's Center, Harold and Carole Pump Oncology, and the Pump Family Infusion. We've given close to 11 million away. Big difference what you raise, what you give. I really feel if you have a passion and you really care about it. So when it's 6 months out, I can't sleep. I'm working about how do I get, So Muhammad Ali is a great story. So I called Layla Ali, find someone that can lead me. And Layla says, my mom says you can call her. And within 2 seconds, on my other phone, I'm calling Lonnie. I say, Lonnie, my name is, she goes, yeah. Can I have lunch with you? She goes, yeah, we're in Arizona. So me and David just flew up there, and we met with the Alis. And Lonnie was fair-skinned, freckle, and she thought we were cute. And I said, we'd like to honor Muhammad. And she says, who else are you honoring? I said, Denzel Washington and Hank Aaron. We've never spoke to them. I walked out of the restaurant, and David says, we better get him now.
Nice.
But we got it done.
That's the way Don King got things done with the big fight, right? He didn't have anything said, he just did it. Now, one of the things that makes a great entrepreneur is persistence. And people will joke about you guys that don't give David or Dana your cell phone because you're relentless, persistent about getting things. And that's a closer. If you're not afraid to ask, but for a good purpose. What are some other piece of advice that you would give to an entrepreneur about persistence? Because you're nice and funny about it, but you are persistent.
You gotta as a rainmaker, you gotta know when to be passive and when to be aggressive. I think when you get in front of people, I never ask for money for my foundation over the phone. You gotta get face to face. People give to people 100%. What do I mean? Most people don't give the causes, they give who makes the ask. Also, there's a great book called The Rainmaker. A rainmakers teach someone how to make rain, how to get to the assistant of Denzel Washington, how to get behind the red velvet rope. And I think we have a technique, and we always feel if we can get in front of people to ask for money, we can get it. So Denzel Washington asked me to help him with his kid to go to school. We got him into Penn, and I asked Denzel, would you make a contribution, six-figure donation? And he's done that for 4 years in a row, and we have always been able to monetize our relationships for good, for our charity.
The other thing that you do real well, and you've done this with the basketball camps as well, which you're legendary for, the first kids camps in Southern California and growing throughout the world. In fact, you're really well known for helping coaches find the best talent and helping facilitate the talent to the coaches as well. But the one thing that you do real well is it's not one-sided. It seems like to me, some people may call it a hustle, but everyone's like,
give and take.
Dave, exactly. Dave will do this and this, and I can't say no to you because you have that value of, hey, I know what Dave needs and wants.
I'll give you, you said something, Dave, was great. So when you're dealing with high net worth people and you're going to ask them for money, you take care of anyone's child and you got a layup. You find your children, whether it's helping them get into a college, helping them on a need, whether they're an elite basketball player, baseball player, finding one of your, Eddie Murray to go teach your friend's son, probably the second greatest switch hitter. So that is a great way of how to get to we call whales. You find a way to help them.
And the second way, first is always children, second way is sports. Right, if you can provide tickets to the Super Bowl, for example.
Experiences.
Right.
And we were really good at that. We've done, I met a guy who's a big attorney in Orange County, Greg Bentley. I sat with him at a Dodger game, and David says, introduce yourself to the guy, and I started talking to him. And I said, who's your idol? He says, Jerry West. So that Monday I called him and said, Greg, meet me at the Cheesecake Factory. True story. And he was able to meet his idol. And obviously I've asked him for a contribution every year. Like you said, experiences is a home run.
And then the other side, though, is beyond the asking for money. You're really good at setting the stage, meaning if you get the right people, then everyone's going to want to be there, right? You see things at different levels and layers than other people do.
Yeah.
Which would make you a great sports agent, by the way. Because spheres of influence, I call it.
You're so right. So my analogy is a little different. I look at things like a flower. You seed it. You have to nurture it. You have to water it. And that's the way I cultivate people. So it's going to be hard in year 19 to stop because we have so many buckets of foundations. We know the gatekeepers to everybody. And we've built that relationship and we have that access to these people.
And it's all as we're getting older, unfortunately, both of us, because we're about the same age and we've grown up in the industry together, which has been really fun. But I don't think people know how much hard work to have that vision. People say, oh, they're overnight successes, but I remember way back when, as you're into these later years, that it's every day, and there was no guarantees you'd be successful. The basketball camps was a risky venture.
That was a great platform. When we were 21, LA Gear, Leonard Amato gave David and Dana $600,000 for grassroots basketball. They wanted us to legitimize their brand.
And you started at 16, though, didn't you?
Yes.
At the camps?
Yeah.
Wow.
But we've had a great platform. Paul George, Paul Pierce, Klay Thompson, they all played for us at a young age. So we were able to legitimize brands. So then we started to create a search firm where universities would hire the Pump brothers to name their basketball coach, Bruce Pearl at Tennessee, Andy Kennedy at Mississippi. Then we went in the hospitality business. Everyone would take a bad light on the ticket scalping. But you're looking now, the NCAA has their own ticket deal with Prime Sports.
Right.
And, we just keep creating different revenue streams with our skill set. We look at it, we're great, we're able to put people together.
Which is also true about, here you are at the Super Bowl. Now, I've been in 20 Super Bowls, you and Lee Steinberg put on, and here they are with, I would say there's a cross-pollination of athletes. Dr. J is your name here, and he's a bigger draw at the Super Bowl. Just between you and I, LT had a bowling tournament, right? You think that would go over well? This thing's 10 times as big, 10 times as popular. People can't get in here.
No, so all these different events, like I go to the All-Star game in 2 weeks. I want to be able to monetize my relationships and do good. It happens to be my wife is very philanthropic and charitable, but like most charities, unless you have someone with chutzpah or some kind of sense of influence,
That's nervous for balls.
it's hard to raise money. So I've said, hey, it's Super Bowl. I'm going to do good for you, Leah. I'm going to raise money, in which we'll have a great night for her tonight and be able to get the Dr. J's, Evander Holyfields, the Willie McGinnises, the Deion Sanders, all to show up tonight to help Leah.
Yeah, you're amazing. And then I think I saw also you're helping out Dr. J's wife in her foundation.
Yeah.
Is that true too?
Yeah, and they're wonderful people, and Julius has been great. They want to make a donation to the people in South Florida, and it's just another relationship. And one way we've been really good with our relationships, you got to help people back. When people support the pumps, we have to support them back, whether it's financial, show up, or give auction items. And once we stop that, there will be no foundation.
I think you made a really good point. One thing that I think about you and your brother that I tell people all the time is, if you want to be a way maker like you are, a miracle worker as a philanthropist, you have to be a promise keeper. And you guys say what you want. You can hustle, you can do this, but when you tell me, we just talked about it earlier, when you tell me, Dave, I got 2 tickets for you for the Super Bowl.
It's our word.
They're always there.
It's in anything, as we grow older now, we're 52 2 days ago. It's your integrity. Like when someone will say, well, Dana and David, the kind of, no. We couldn't have grown this massive charitable foundation if there was any bullshit, because our follow-throughs there we're menches.
Yeah.
And the menches.
Big mensch.
We do what we say we're going to do.
It's interesting because I think as an entrepreneur, both of us, people will confuse being, hustling and putting deals together for, being a little BS. It's not though. As long as you do what you say. For example, there was a Super Bowl in Arizona with Seahawks, and there was a shortage of tickets. Mm-hmm. And most the guys that I know in the business left people hanging. Lawsuits, went out of business, and never once, right, did I hear your name come up as, I was promised something.
You know what? We've always said this, Dave and I. It's all we have is our word. And as we're getting older and growing, I think our reputation, our integrity is tremendous. I mean, I look at our legacy, what we're leaving for my mother and father now. It was our birthday the other day, and I think of the real success of their legacy. You're keeping your mother and father's name so big in our community.
Which I think is really cool, because when people think of Northridge, right, the Pump family name comes
John
up.
Elway.
John Elway. There you go. Although I was with Dickerson, I couldn't believe the year.
He's number 3.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, he's number 3.
Number 1 was Herschel Walker, right, the Heisman?
Yeah.
All right, so you also moved beyond, I think I saw there was a pump and run event.
Well, no, we were in basketball. That's where we got our names, and we had a huge platform. We'd get 5,000 kids a summer in our tournaments, our AAU team, the pump and run team, all the great players. We've pivoted away. This year's our first year, and we had a great run, but that whole world and culture has changed. So we're using our skill set, and we've created an agency 5 years ago with my brother and Tracy Morris, who's been with us for years, and we're working with big brands. Like we've been working with Adidas, EA Sports, Showtime, and we've done a lot of social media posts, and once again, it all goes back to the relationships and the ability of the people we can get to. So we have a special, unique ability and a value what the Pump Brothers can bring to any company.
Out of all the athletes and celebrities that you've worked with, which one's the biggest mensch?
Irvin Magic Johnson.
Oh, there you have it.
Amen. The best. Tweeted on our birthday, wanted to wish us. Took me to the south of France 2 years ago. You talk about a real human kindness.
Yeah. Magic
and Denzel Washington give and help a lot of people where a lot of people don't know about. Real big time.
It was amazing. I got the blessing. Darren Prince is, Magic's his agent, and he heard that I love the message of Joel Osteen. And you can see how closely people are. Not only did they arrange for me to go down and meet with Joel, but Magic called.
I saw Darren Prince's post the other day.
Yeah. How's it, Darren in Houston?
Oh, did he?
But Magic called and said, I'm jealous.
No, Magic just preached at his church like a
Lakewood.
a Magic's church like a month ago, and it was sensational. I mean, out of all our athlete friends, there's no one that has a better aura, a better message, and such a well-spoken wow than Magic Johnson.
I was blessed. Like I said, he spoke with me. I had the keynote at Denny's, and he's the spokesperson for Denny's, and they announced it. And he holds a room of 7,000 franchisees, no problem.
Home run.
He's a home run, grand slam.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
No. He has he carves it out how you want to speak to and who your message is. He is tremendous. More athletes should learn from Magic Johnson, and I just know, like, when someone comes to the table, how he stands up. He has the whole package.
Absolutely. Last question. You've created a legacy, but when it's all said and done, I'm gonna let you speak for your brother as well. What legacy did you and your brother David, would you like to leave?
Great question. True mentions, helped a lot of people, and did a lot of good.
Yeah, well, I think you're well along the way. I've admired you from afar and been blessed later on in our lives to get really close, and you're someone I depend on and I appreciate for what you do, not only for our sports community, but better off for our whole community, with children, with health, cancer, everything you guys do.
That's great, Dave.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you very much, man. That's great.
What an honor. This is Dave Meltzer with Entrepreneurs, The Playbook.